the overview of how Weblogic is used
Okay.
as an application server, as a web server, and how the architecture can be designed. What are the advantages of having it as a two-tier, and how it is very advantageable to have it as a multi-tier. It's an overview where you get the details of two-tier and multi-tier architecture. I'll be explaining about how it is used successfully as an application layer, and what are the features of Weblogic, and how the architecture goes. Basically, they use any web technology can be used as a two-tier and multi-tier. It depends upon the organization and how the business requirement is required. Two-tier is nothing but having everything to have a one-to-one contact. I have given a small picture diagram how it goes, where the request flows everything to a database in a single point, and you will not be having any additional backup or any failover, or if it goes down, you need to face the downtime of the application. This is how the two-tier goes. It is used in a small organization, in a small companies, or if there is a small request from the users, where there are not much users hitting the application. It is better to have it as a cost-saving architecture. These are the disadvantages of running as a two-tier: scalability, the dependence, the interconnections, the system administration, and configuration. And how it is benefited when you go to a three-tier. This is the architecture where you can use it, where you can have different layers, and each layers can have multiple connections in a multi-way, and each will not have a dependency with each other, and the business flow can happen without when even one layer goes down. This is how the architecture goes. It's nothing but having two physical servers and running your business, having each sector having a different servers, like one web server, one app server, and one database. So each having independent servers, and each can go through the upgrade task, the downtime, and everything, where another layer is not disturbed. This is a three-tier, where still you might face a downtime if one server goes down. A multi-tier is nothing but having an active and a passive, nothing but a primary and a secondary, where one server goes down, you can use your second server. We can see this on a later stage on the presentation.
Lalit, can you hear me?
Yes, Raju.
When you say two-tier, I did the Weblogic installations. See, the
Yes,
two-tier in the sense, if on one server we have a database, also
yes.
the Weblogic, what do you call it? Is it single tier or two-tier?
In a single server, right?
Yeah.
Still you can have it as a two-tier. It depends upon how many managed servers you create.
No. Okay. No. Before we have one server, so I have a UNIX server. I have the database installed. Then I install the Weblogic.
Okay.
And then I may have a one managed server or multiple managed servers. What do you call that in that context?
Everything you have it in one physical server, correct?
Correct.
Here is the diagram, how it goes.
These are the clients, right? Those terminals you are showing is the client.
Yes.
And the database, what does it mean? You have a database.
It is a one-to-one communication where only one instance communicates to another instance. You will not have any interface in between. You raise a request, the request goes directly to the requested service.
Yes, but the database is also in the same node, correct?
Yes, you will not have a one-to-one. It is a two-tier because you have your application and a database in the same server.
Correct. Oh, you are considering the client's portion as a one
Yes.
tier. Okay, got it, got it. Okay, okay, continue. Sorry.
These are the advantages when you go for a two-tier, where
Yeah,
you will not
okay.
have much scalability.
Yeah, no, I understand now. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. The advantages and how the three-tier looks when we go for a design.
So, okay, now in the light of our discussion before, when you have a
Yes.
three-tier, basically, see, we have a client-side portion, and
Yes.
then we have a database in a separate node, and our managed server, Weblogic server on the another node.
Yes.
Okay. And when you say multi-tier, maybe we have a load balanced Weblogic. Also, we have a rack or
load balancer and everything will take into consideration when we go for a multi-tier architecture.
Yeah, I'm talking about the multi-tier. So in your terms, multi-tier means we have a rack maybe on the database for the high availability. And also we may have multiple WebLogic servers which has a node manager set up for failover. And
Yes,
then
it
the
depends.
client. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Basically, when you think about Weblogic installation, we can have 3 to 4 managed servers. When you have everything in a single server, we cannot take it as a multi-tier. You need at least 3 servers. So when there is a failover, another one takes the responsibility.
Okay, but that is standby, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Advantages of three-tier: you have the availability, the capacity, the number of hits it can run, it can be extended, it has a flexible support for the architecture, it can be easily managed, and the reliable is much better.
Lalit,
the only thing,
Lalit, how the license works, do you know?
in the older version of WebLogic, you had a license file.
Okay.
So the license is dependent on the number of instances you install.
Okay.
So the latest versions which you are getting now, it is a paper license. We need to just have a contract with the WebLogic vendor and sign it. So when there is an issue, we can raise a service request with them.
I understand that part. Now the vendor is Oracle, right? WebLogic vendor is Oracle. So when we download the software, we check that accepting the license, we download it, but when we install, say, I go and install WebLogic on, say, 3 servers. How do Oracle consider that? Is there 3 installations or still it is a one license?
There it goes a difference. If you have an older version, you'll be downloading the license file only if you have a contract with the Oracle WebLogic team.
I see.
You'll be getting a license.va file.
Okay.
In the newer version, license is not required. If you are ready to use the licensed version, licensed version is nothing but you can create 3 to 4 managed servers and certain additional facilities, creation, certain features will be enabled.
Okay.
So once you have a contract, register a company with the Oracle team, then if there is any issue, we can contact them with the service provider number and raise a request.
Okay. So when you say latest version, is it 10.3.1 onwards or from what?
It is from version 10 onwards. The license file is skipped.
Okay, okay. After 10, no?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, continue.
As you raised the license file when we had in the earlier version, it is dependent upon the server. So when we register it, it depends upon the server and the number of CPUs we are using. It is restricted.
Okay.
So security is one of the main advantage in the architecture. The maintenance is little higher when you go for a 3-tier, where you have to maintain all the servers, do the maintenance work. So these are the advantages. Whatever we had as a disadvantage, so this advantage.
Yeah, I got
having it as a 3-tier.
I got it.
So another feature is you can use your Weblogic server both as an application server as well as a web server.
Okay.
So it can take all the calls. The only difference I've highlighted here, how it can be used as application server and a web server. There is no additional configuration required. Only thing you need to enable your web server and give details to the provider, whoever is doing your load balancer. Give them the web server URL and how the application has to be called. So based on it, it takes the calls. The difference is you don't deploy your application in the web server, but we deploy the application in the app server. The security wise, it is very predominant. I mentioned 3 points on it and how it goes. As I said, application is deployed on the app server. It doesn't take on the web server. Supports database connection. Doesn't support database on the web server. So it's a very common points I've highlighted on it.
Lalit, can I ask a question on this?
Yes, sir.
Suppose now client, assuming that is a Java developer or some HTML client.
Okay.
When it initially log in to our application,
okay.
First will they come to web server or application server?
When you hit your application from the internet, the call goes to the web server. So the web server will get the URL and then it will point to your application server.
Okay, that is so HTTP call goes to the web and then it gets redirected to application server.
Yes.
Where will be the validation? User validation happens.
The user validation is when you type the full URL, qualified URL. The qualified URL gets registered in the load balancing site. So which URL you need to hit. So based on the hit, it redirects to your web server, which web server it has to hit.
Okay.
So the algorithm, everything is maintained from the load balancing. So once you hit your URL, it sends to your load balancing. So load balancer fetches the URL, and then based upon the algorithm, it finds the specific web server, and then it routes your call.
Okay, okay. But I know, but my question is, suppose if the user has a username and a password.
Yes.
When they enter that username password, does that get validated at web server level or application server level?
No. The web server works only until you enter your main page, your home page.
Got it, okay.
So a main page and home page are just a static page.
Okay.
The HTML pages and the images.
Okay.
So once you bypass your home page and the static pages, everything is taken from your application server.
Okay.
So application server validates your login ID, password with the help of the database configuration, which we do.
Okay, got it.
So this is how architecture goes and how we can use it as a 2-tier, 3-tier, have the Weblogic in front of web server, and how we can use it as application server.
Okay.
Small comparison. So now we can see how the installation process works.
Lalit, hold on. Is anybody else going to join
Yes.
us? Rajesh? Is Rajesh with us? Because he said in 5 minutes, this may be the interesting thing for others.
Okay. I'm not sure. If anyone has joined, it's fine. Otherwise, we'll try to proceed on it.
Okay, let's go. Continue.
Okay. The next thing is, once we know the usage of Weblogic and how to use it in the business, we need to do the installation process, how it has to be installed. The basic software and hardware requirement, how it can be used on the UNIX. So it's dependent on all the environments. So it can be run on any platform. Okay. So how much RAM you require, what is the disk space, and what are the other things you require when you do an installation.
Okay.
It's a basic requirement from Unix part.
Yeah, got it.
The next one is from the Windows part. So what is the requirement we require from the Windows?
Okay.
The main thing is when we do an installation in Unix, we need to be careful how much space is available in the temp directory.
Okay.
Because when we do any installation, it's not specific to Weblogic. Any product, when we do an installation, it writes all the junk in the temp, so it can be cleared. So at least 500 MB is required.
But Lalit, when I do other installations, we can even set the environment variable like temp location to a different location.
It's after the installation.
Oh, but before installation, is a must. It has to go through the /tmp.
Yes, when you download any product and we start with the first step, it checks the temp directory.
Okay, got it. Okay.
That's why the temp directory has all the permissions, and the Unix administrator clears it according to the file size, system requirement.
Okay, got it.
The requirement from the Windows, how much space we require.
Yeah. You can
the basic installation, different modes of Weblogic installation. You can install it from the GUI mode, graphical interface, install from the console, or do a silent installation.
Okay.
GUI mode is nothing. Launch a terminal from your Unix box. Launch a Unix term, Xterm from your Unix box.
Yeah.
Console installation is taking the console directly from your Unix, taking your console and doing the installation.
Okay.
By having a CD installed on your server.
Okay.
The next one is silent installation, without not going to a graphical interface or taking a console.
Okay.
So everything flows from your DOS prompt or from the Unix.
That time we have to create a response file, right?
It's not required.
Okay.
It's not required. So once we install, so everything starts to flow.
Okay.
Well, let me go to the next stages. The graphical user installation. It is very simple and it is user friendly. So the jar file is the bundle which we download from the Oracle site. It is the latest version, 3.5, 10.3.5. So the important thing is, before doing your installation, we need to make sure which ID is going to be used for the installation, which ID you are going to use it for the maintenance purpose. So once you decide, you have to be as a user for the installation. Before doing the installation, two things to be noted. One is the user ID. The second one is the system has to have the Java installed.
Okay.
If you are going to go with the Java apart from the Java provided by Oracle Weblogic.
For 10.3.5, like JDK 6, I think, right? That's what we do?
No. I'm trying to say the Java is usually bundled with the Weblogic.
Okay.
So if you don't require the Java provided by the Weblogic, you may use IBM Java or JRocket.
Okay.
So during that time, you use the Java file. Okay. Otherwise, you can just install it.
Okay.
So here's the command to extract the jar file. We need to make sure the Unix system has the permission to launch the console, the Xterm.
Okay.
So jar-jar and the jar file name.
So Java minus jar file, and we are passing the jar file name.
Yes.
Okay. This is where we're going to point to a JRocket or IBM JDK.
Yes, sir. The Java is installed on the Unix server. Okay. So we need to provide the path, absolute path.
Okay, got it.
So once you launch, this is the first screen which you get. So you get the version details, the service provider, who is the owner of it, and how it has to be processed. The installation is user You get the similar settings when you do it on a silent version. Silent version is nothing but installing it from your command prompt or using a Unix system.
Okay.
So only thing, you don't see the picture representation, the colors. So
Okay.
everything will be on a Unix prompt with a dotted.
Yeah.
From the second screen, it takes a requirement from the user. So which path has to be a home path, so which path you need to set, and what is your requirement.
Okay.
If you see the picture, it says what is your home directory you want to use. Is it you need to create a new home, or you want to use the existing home you created.
Okay.
You have two options. The first one is blanked out because I'm creating a new home directory.
Yeah.
The second one, it asks you whether you want to receive all the Oracle updates, how you want to receive it.
Generally, do we select that?
Yes, when you register a product, someone has to get an update. So what is the fixed patch is being released, what is the bug they have on each version. So those things will be communicated to the registered mail ID.
Okay. Because we always skip that part, right? But generally that's the standard.
Yes, you can skip it. If someone has registered already in the product, no need to register again.
Okay, got it.
So how you can register it? How you can install it? By choosing a typical or custom. It depends upon what is the version we require. The latest version has both the difference.
Okay.
So what are the products you want to install when you want to install your Weblogic server?
Okay, can I ask a question here? It has a typical
Yes.
and a custom, right? Generally, I do the typical one. When do we do the custom? Go ahead.
Typical is nothing but whatever products it comes as a bundle.
Yeah.
It installs everything.
That's right.
So one disadvantage is you might not be having much space on your system.
Okay.
So the installation directory will not be having much space. So during that time, it is recommended to go for a custom.
Okay, got it.
So when you go for a custom, you get all the details. So what are the things it require, what are the products you are going to install, whether you can skip something based on the application requirement.
Okay. Some sort of like examples and all that. You can
Yes.
skip them. Okay.
Yes. It means whether you want the JDBC drivers, whether you want the clients, whether you want the web server plugins, whether you want to do a test connection for database, whether we want Oracle coherence. It lists the details. So you can uncheck it or check it according to a need.
Okay. So
Why we use?
Sorry,
Yes,
like,
sir.
what is Oracle coherence means?
It is the latest version. We are speaking about the cloud. It is having your details in the cache and giving the inputs in a few fraction of seconds.
Okay, that is the cache option, huh? Cache.
Yes.
Okay.
That this is the latest feature which you have it with the version.
Okay.
So the next one, it starts to ask you the Java version, whether you want to use the bundle Java or you want to use the Java which is being installed by you.
Okay. Okay. So if you check that box off, then we come back with the prompt for the whole path of the IBM
Yes.
JDK or Java. Okay, got it.
Yes. Whether it's bundle JDK, it highlights you. Or
Okay.
if you want to use the Java from your server, you have to provide the
Browse
full
on the
path.
server. You can
Yes.
browse it, right? Yeah. Got
Yeah,
it.
we can browse it. The next one is select the product installation directory where you want to install your product.
Okay.
The first step, the home directory is created. The next one, where you want to have your installables.
So the installer will create the middleware folder, right? Basically, the root folder is Oracle QMSV. Oracle is the root folder.
This is the root folder where I want to write all my installation log files.
So, but that is we should always create that before, or it will create that Middleware folder?
It is dependent. When you use the first option, you can use your existing home path.
Okay, okay.
Or if you want the install to create the directory, as you want to proceed, you have to create it.
Okay.
There is two difference. When you want to create your directory, you need to make sure the ID has all the permission to create the directory.
Okay.
Since we have all the permissions, we are going with it.
Okay. Okay, got it.
So here we provide the details where it has to install and where all the binary files need to be installed.
Okay.
It's nothing but what are the J2E files you require, what are the files it gets installed.
Okay.
The previous slide which we checked, so what are the things we have checked in, so all the things gets installed here.
Okay.
So how much space it require, everything gets mentioned.
Okay. That's why it's less than 1 gig. Okay.
Yes. So the installation starts. So how the installation goes, as it installs, all the jar files gets extracted from the jar file, it loads in your binary directory.
So Lalit, this installation, though it says 6688 whatever 100 as 10.1, but it is a 10.3.5 and Oracle calls it as 11GR1.
Yes.
This is the installation I did a couple of times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the only thing is the confusion is it is 10.3, but Oracle calls as 11GR1.
From 10.3 they made it as 11G.
Yeah, they call it as 11G.
So once the installation is done, we have prompted installation successful.
Okay. Typically,
so then it starts.
Did you run into any issues, any of the installations?
Usually you may run into issues when your JDK doesn't have enough permission.
Okay.
Or you don't, or the ID which you are using as doesn't have much permission. Most common error which you might face is the space issue.
Okay.
The second common issue.
There is no root.shell to run, right?
No.
Okay, got it.
No. The basic common error which you face is someone would have installed it, unknowingly they would have deleted the path. So during that time, if it is not fully cleared, the second installation will have issues.
Okay.
So once it is installed, how it proceeds? Getting started, upgrade domains, access. So what are the things you can use it?
Okay. So we can click on the link and yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I've been through. Yeah, go ahead.
So once you install it, it gives you an option. So what is the domain you want to create, whether you want to extend, so what are the features you require.
Yeah, base domain and all that, right? ADF domain, yeah.
So next thing is generating an automatic product, creating domain, what is the name you require. It starts to ask the user requirements.
Okay. What is the next option, Lalit? I never used that. Can you go back? Base this domain on an existing template. Means we create a template before and use that one?
You mean generate domain configured?
No, second option. See that? Base this domain on an existing template.
It's nothing but you would have had certain configurations when you create a domain, certain features needs to be installed. Yeah. So when you have certain things, you can have the template on it. So it creates everything in a single shot.
Okay.
Storing everything in a single file and then installing it.
Where do you get the template then?
After you do the first installation, when you use the same installation file, you can see it.
Okay. So use the existing one of the installation template, make some changes, and then maybe we can give a different domain name pointing to that template. Okay, got it.
Yes, it takes all the details of the existing configuration.
Okay.
So once you proceed with it, generate a domain. It asks you what is the domain name you want and in which path the domain has to be installed.
Okay.
And then it prompts you what is the username you require, what is the password for entering your GUI console.
Okay.
So those things are provided. So next is whether you want it in your development mode or production mode.
Generally,
so
what
again,
we do for production?
It's that in the latest version, the development mode and production mode is nothing but you have a lock option.
Okay.
So when you click the lock option, it is in production mode. So when a user clicks on the lock, only the specific user has the permission to do the configuration settings.
Okay.
In the development mode, you don't find the lock option, and the settings can be changed by any person who connects to the console or you connects to the domain.
So you're talking about the admin console. Multiple people can log in and keep changing?
Yes, if you are in the development mode.
Okay. But then how does it will stepping over each other, right?
It will take into effect whoever does the save latest. Whoever makes the save is the latest.
Okay. But
So
the production
you
mode,
have
production mode, it will
yes.
only let the one guy.
Yes.
Okay. You mean to say, on the production mode, only one person can log in as admin or a
it's not like that. In production mode, only one person can do changes at one time.
Oh, I see. Okay. But multiple people can log in as a. Okay, got it.
Yeah, multiple people can log in, but only the person who has logged it will be allowed to do the configuration settings.
Is there an option to lock it somewhere on the admin console?
Yes. Yes. Once you enter your console mode, you have a lock option.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Again, it prompts you which JDK you want to use for your domain.
Okay.
So what is the administration server you want, whether you want to add a managed server or whether you require any database configuration. So those things are listed.
Okay. But so generally, do we select those things at this stage?
Yes, once you create a domain, we need to have a managed server or a manager who needs to control all the people below. So the administration server gets created.
So we'll come back to the screen later, or we'll do it at the same time?
No. Once the admin server is created, you'll be able to launch a domain from your browser.
Okay, got it.
So once you are able to launch the domain, later on you can do the configurations. So the naming conventions, everything you can do it.
Okay. But this RDBMS security store, Lalit, that is new to me.
These are the things. Security store is nothing but it is providing a username, providing a file, specific file to use.
Means suppose where is that file coming from?
No. When you create a managed server, when you want to give all the details in one specific time, so you can check all the options. So it takes all the details from the user.
Okay.
So at in the beginning stage, usually they create the administration server. So based upon the requirements, once you come across all the server details, we provide the database details.
Okay.
It's initial when you do installation, we'll not be knowing what is the port they want to use, what is the database they have configured, what is the port. So just to make it safer side, we install the administration server alone.
Okay.
Once you install the admin server, it asks you what is the port you want to listen.
Yeah.
What is SSL port, whether SSL is enabled.
See, here is okay. You see, at this stage, we may not have the SSL certificate installed.
Yes, that is why we don't check it. So once we have the certificate, we can again do the settings back again.
That is where on the GUI or on the command line we have to make the change?
On the GUI we can do it, or from the command prompt we can do it.
Okay, okay.
So once you provide all the details, the domain creates and the installation processes.
Okay.
So you get all the details, where is your domain created, and what is your URL to launch your domain.
I see that, yeah. Typically, we don't use 7001, right? That is the typical prompt. But we select something different, right? Yeah.
Usually when you do your first installation, that is the port.
Okay.
So when you have multi-instance, for example, if someone has installed already, then you go for the next port.
Okay.
The other things which we have seen is how you install it from a graphical interface.
Got it.
Launching a XTerm and how you proceed.
Yeah.
So how you can do the same thing, silent installation, from your command prompt or from your command prompt with running commands. So this is the step, it's same as Java icon jar with some commands attached to it.
Okay.
When you run from your command prompt.
So what is the DOS.name?
It is nothing but highlighting that you are running from a UNIX box, running from a UNIX name.
Okay, got it.
So these are the files you need to edit when you do a silent installation. So these things are after the installation.
Okay.
So when you need to bring up your manage the admin server, it needs to have some memory to it. So where the memory settings you do it, and what are the settings you need to do, the configurations. So
that is in that is in the shell file, Larry?
No, it is in the domain path after you install it.
No, yeah, I understand. Domain path and BEA, WLS server.
It is after you install it. The domains directory we have installed.
Okay.
So after you install WL_server, it's a default directory which gets installed.
Okay.
So under the bin you have all the scripting files.
Okay.
So which is used for stop, start, the environment variables used by Weblogic. Those things takes into it automatically, based upon the details which you have given when we did the installation.
Okay. So basically max term size and max and min
memory size.
Yeah, got it.
So these are the basic things which you need to edit. It's better to edit before you start, because it makes your admin server to be alive for a longer time. So you don't run out of memory.
What is there a max limit there? Like you can go 1024, like 2040?
It's based upon how much memory you have in your server and how much is allocated to the system.
Okay.
So how you install it.
Okay. So Lalit, just a quick question. Before we initiate the silent installation, we do the memory settings in the shell file, env file, then launch the silent installation. Is that right?
No. Let me make it clear.
Come back to the silent mode. Yeah, here. So here
we have finished the installation.
We installation is done. Yes.
Yes. So this is the command. If you don't have your if you are not able to launch your XTerm, so how to do the installation silent.
Okay, got it.
So next one is the set domain env.sh. What is the file name used when you want to give your memory settings?
No. My question is, we already initiated the silent install, or after the silent install is completed, we go and edit this file.
Yes, perfectly correct.
Okay, got it.
Because if you open your default file, it will be having a memory of a default.
Okay.
128 and a 256. It's a default memory settings.
Okay.
So to make it use much memory for the admin server to come up, these are the settings you give it.
Okay. So the one you are showing on the slide is the default settings.
No, it is the settings you need to make it.
Okay. So
to make your admin server to come up.
They will be otherwise smaller than the sizes, huh?
Yes. The advantage is when you don't edit the file, your admin server will come up without any issues.
Okay.
So once you configure your managed server,
Okay.
once the managed server is started, maybe it can run healthy for 3 to 4 hours with the application installed on it.
Okay.
So once the user starts to hit the application, the admin server will not be able to have the people or the managed server healthy.
Okay.
So the request which comes in becomes overloaded.
Okay.
Then since we are talking about the memory, there are two things. The newer version which we come across from the version 10 onwards, the admin server requires 1024 min and max size for the admin to come up.
Okay.
It's nothing but it's based upon choose the products.
Oh, I see. The list of products we chose. Okay, got it.
Yes. The list of products which we choose and install.
Yeah.
So those gets installed. So if all the products which you install needs to be used, your admin has to have enough memory.
Okay.
So your admin server settings needs to be changed.
But Lalit, okay, now when we do the GUI installation,
yes,
we don't need to adjust these memory parameters, do we?
No, not required. Since it's a base installation,
okay.
We will not be having the application installed.
Okay.
There will not be any users coming through our admin.
That's true. That's
so
true.
We don't need to modify the memory part.
But when we do the silent installation, but then we have to go and edit them. That's what I'm trying to understand the difference.
No. Let it make little clear. In the silent installation, I change the memory settings because I want to make my admin server to be healthy.
Okay, got it.
Because I've installed these many products.
Okay.
So to make it healthy, I'm adjusting my admin server's memory.
So that means it doesn't matter whether we are silent, we still edit the memory settings.
No, it doesn't take the memory settings.
Okay.
The memory part comes into action only when you start to create your managed servers.
Okay, okay.
So when you create your managed servers and make it into running mode, it starts to use all the products which you have installed.
Got it.
So whether we have the application installed or not, it starts to use all the products.
Okay.
Another difference is if you don't set your memory, your admin server will come up on a healthy state, your managed server will be healthy. Okay. So the only thing is when the managed server becomes overloaded, it means when there is more products being used, the admin server will not be able to receive the calls.
Okay.
Best thing is you can do an installation of admin server, create your managed server, 1 or 2 managed servers, make your Weblogic run on any system it is used, where the system is used very often. You no need to touch your Weblogic. After 8 or 9 hours, your Weblogic will run into issues where the memory will be used by other products or other items.
Okay.
So we will not be able to launch the console again.
Okay.
So these are the installations and how you go to it. Here we have done the changes to make the memory for the admin server to pick up. repeated. So how you start your WebLogic? You have a start weblogic.sh. It's a default script when you do an installation.
Okay.
So once you install it, you can launch your admin console with the port which is specified. So this is the basic installation from the graphical mode, and how you can install it with the silent mode.
Okay.
So for today's session, we have covered the architecture and how the installation can be done, and what is the process to launch your admin console.
So basically, what is the other than Java, like any other prereqs we need here?
Any other Java in the sense?
No, the prereqs for the installation. One is the user ID, Linux or Unix account with the permissions. And
the requirements is Java has to be installed, and then the user ID, through which user ID you are going to do the maintenance, and then the directory system. It has to have enough memory, it has to have enough space on it. So once you have these requirements, we can do the installation.
Okay, got it. And we automatically start even the web server, right? WebLogic server console?
No. It only creates the admin and the manage server. For starting it, we need to do a start from the command prompt.
Okay. So, what are the components? By the way, Lalit, do you hear anybody else join?
I'm not sure if anyone joined.
Raju,
almost we are coming to the end.
Raju?
Oh, sorry.
Hi. Yeah, Rajesh here. Sunil has joined in, but he has joined in for the ADF session actually.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be having ADF session at 8 o'clock. So.
Okay. I think, Raju, we are almost covered for today's session, the architecture and the installation.
Okay.
So again, we'll meet on the next session. So how the admin console looks, and what are the things that we can do it from the admin console. The same thing, how you can recreate from your command prompt.
Okay, Rajesh, I know you will be jumping onto this ADF.
Yes.
Did you talk to Lalit about this? Because I've already done some installations. That's why we're going fast. If it is only Lalit and me, basically I'm more interested on the advanced topic. Did you talk to him about it?
Yep, we can talk that actually for a few minutes if needed.
Yeah, Lalit.
Yeah, you can talk directly to Lalit and see like what is your expectations if we can meet it.
Yeah. Basically, Lalit, basically I like the way it is going, but now because I've done few installations, because I do manage the WebLogic right now as a part of my work.
Okay.
Because I do the ERP implementations and I also have some WebLogic installations.
Okay.
I do all those basic administration installations. I know.
Okay. Basic in the sense install it and then deploy the application, correct?
Deploy the application, even the start and creating the script to start and stop and monitoring.
Okay.
Even create the managed server. That part I know.
Okay.
But again, the reason is Rajesh brought up other day, because when you showed us the what is the curriculum, because you have some basic and then advanced.
Yes.
So that's where you want to have a clarity, because I want to jump on quickly, go to the basic but jump on to the advanced as a part of the course.
Okay. We'll do a basic coverage for the next 2 sessions. We'll try to touch all the basic things. Then we can jump on the advanced. Like SSL, how to troubleshoot JDBC tuning, and how to configure your messaging server.
Yeah. SSL also, I done the SSL, but yeah, we can talk about that for about half an hour.
Okay.
I know how to create the keys and certificates and getting it from VeriSign and all that.
Okay.
I know that part also, but yeah, I want to hear from you in case if I'm missing something. Yeah.
Okay. The request for the certificates is same. So whatever components you use, the request is same.
Yeah.
The only play comes in when you do install your certificates on your system.
Okay.
So maybe we can cover the basic things quickly for the next 2 sessions. We can touch all the points. So advanced will be easy for you.
Yeah. If I need to come up, I'll go through also and get ready.
Okay.
Start the class. So when do you think you want to start the class, Rajan?
We can join back on Monday. I'll cover the
Monday.
basic.
Monday.
I'll cover the basic for the next 2 sessions, Monday and Tuesday, and I'll run through the advanced for the next other 2 sessions, so you can cover it, the entire thing.
Oh, you're saying only 4 sessions?
If you wanted to make it very quickly, we can rush it.
No. I'm not in rush. What I'm saying is, you don't need to spend a lot of time on basic, but I want to go through the regular phase, but I want to spend more time on the advanced topics. That's what I meant.
Okay. I'll run through the basic sessions quickly for the next 2 sessions. Yes. So by the time you can come up, what are the advanced topic you want to have a concentration. So based upon your requirements, we can create a presentation. So how to troubleshoot, so what is your area of requirement.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So what time is convenient for you? That way I can tell Rajesh.
If only you are joining, we can start 1 hour ahead, so it will be comfort to discuss everything.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Because for me it is convenient. It's for your convenience. I need to make sure.
Okay. On Monday, once you confirm it to Rajesh, we can start 1 hour before.
So that means Rajesh, are you there? Okay, I will talk to Rajesh on that. Okay.
No, I'm here, Rajesh.
So that means my time, today I started at 6:30, instead I will be starting at 5:30 California time, Pacific time.
Yes, yeah, we can do that, yeah.
You don't have any conflict, right? Your other meetings?
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right, thanks Lalit, thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks Rajesh. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks guys.
Okay, Lalit, you want me to stay on this for a...
We can
no,
drop.
Raju and Sunil, I'll just disconnect the call and I'll start it again, guys. Just give me a minute. I'll disconnect and connect again.
Do you want me to join to the area phone?
Yeah, you can join in, Raju. After like 2 minutes, you can join. Sunil, also, can you reconnect after 2 minutes?